stop right now. Before you scroll past this moment, before your thumb moves and this page disappears behind you like so many moments you let slip away. I need you to pause, just for a breath, just for one small moment where the world loosens its grip long enough for you to feel something real. My child, can you give me 1 minute? Just 60 seconds. I am not asking for much. I know your time feels precious. I know your mind is already running toward the next thing, toward the notification that just appeared, toward the pressure that greeted you the moment you opened your eyes this morning. I know, but I am asking you gently and yet with great urgency to stop right here, because what I have placed in this moment for you is something your heart has been crying out for without knowing how to ask. Something your spirit has been reaching toward, even when your mind convinced you to keep moving. If you walk away from this message right now, if you let distraction pull you before these words finish finding you, you may miss the very thing I arranged with your name on it. So please, stay, just a little longer, just long enough to hear me. This moment is not random. You did not stumble here by accident, by boredom, by an idle scroll through endless noise. I aligned this. I arranged the exact path of clicks and pauses and quiet instants that brought your eyes to these words right now, at this second, in this specific season of your life. Because your heart needed to be found, because something in you has been drifting further than you realize, and I had to step into your day before the distance grew any wider. I know you have been surviving more than you have been living. I know the weight you carry into every morning, the heaviness that settles over your chest before you even take your first breath of the day. I know the way you reach for your phone to fill the silence because the silence holds too many questions you are not ready to face. I know the exhaustion that lives in your bones, not the kind that sleep fixes, but the kind that comes from carrying battles alone for too long, from pretending you are okay when deep inside something is quietly breaking. I saw it. I see it still. And that is exactly why I came into your moment today. Give me 60 seconds. I promise you will not regret it. My child, let me speak to you about what I have seen in you, not what the world sees when it looks at you, not the face you compose for other people, not the strength you perform for those who depend on you, not the smile you wear so convincingly that even you have started to forget what is hiding underneath it. I want to speak about what I see when I look at the places you have sealed off from everyone, the rooms inside you where you keep the things that hurt too much to look at directly, the parts of yourself you learned to stop showing because the world did not handle them with care. I know you have been tired in a way that goes far beyond the body. You have been spiritually exhausted, emotionally hollowed out, running on reserves you did not know were already empty. You have been carrying grief you never gave yourself permission to grieve. You have been carrying disappointment from doors that closed without explanation, from people who left without warning, from prayers that seemed to rise and find nothing waiting. You told yourself you were fine. You told yourself you could handle it. You kept moving because stopping felt more dangerous than pushing through. And so you pushed, and somewhere in all that pushing, you started losing the sound of my voice. I know about the 3 o'clock mornings, the ones where your eyes open in the dark and your mind begins before you are even fully awake, cycling through everything unresolved, everything uncertain, everything that feels like it is slipping from your hands. I know how you lie there trying to breathe through it, trying to talk yourself down from the ledge of your own anxiety, trying to believe that tomorrow will somehow feel different than today. I know the prayers you whispered in those hours, small prayers, desperate prayers, prayers you were almost embarrassed to say out loud because they felt too raw, too needy, too unworthy of the attention of heaven. But they were not unworthy, not one of them. I know about the tears you only let fall in private, the ones in the shower, the ones in your car before you walk inside, the ones you swallow quickly before anyone sees, because you have spent years learning to be the strong one. I know how exhausting it is to be the one who holds everything together. I know how rarely anyone asks if you are okay, truly okay, and how rarely you tell the truth when they do. You have been so good at appearing whole on the outside that you have almost forgotten you are still bleeding on the inside. I see your financial worry, the quiet dread that wakes with you every morning, the calculations you run in your mind while you are supposed to be resting, the shame you feel that no one else can see, the fear that things will never turn around, that you made the wrong choices, that you have failed in ways that cannot be undone. I see how that fear has wrapped itself around your peace and slowly, quietly, squeezed the joy out of ordinary moments that should have been beautiful. I see your loneliness, not always the loneliness of being alone, but the deeper loneliness of being surrounded by people and still feeling invisible, still feeling like no one truly sees the whole of who you are, still longing for a connection so real, so safe, so steady that you do not have to perform inside of it. I see how many times you reached for that kind of connection and came away empty. How many times you opened your heart and watched it handled carelessly. How those experiences taught you to keep your truest self behind walls, because the walls hurt less than the exposure. I see the dreams you buried, not because they died, but because you got tired of mourning them every time they failed to bloom. You tucked them away somewhere deep, somewhere safe, somewhere you do not look too often because looking still hurts. Dreams of the life you imagined, the love you hoped for, the purpose you sensed was inside you, but could never quite reach. The version of yourself you were sure you would become by now. You stopped speaking about those dreams. You stopped letting yourself want them. And every time hope tried to grow again, you pressed it down before it could grow tall enough to disappoint you once more. My child, I saw every single one of those moments. I heard every prayer you breathed in the dark. Not one of them missed me. Not one tear touched your cheek without touching my heart first. You thought you were invisible in your pain. You were never invisible. I was watching. I was there. And the fact that you are reading these words right now is proof that I never stopped reaching for you. Now let me tell you something about this moment, about why these words found you today, in this exact hour of your life, and not a day earlier or a day later. There is a reason. There is always a reason with me. I do not send my voice into a life without purpose. I do not arrange divine appointments for decoration. You are here because something is shifting in the spiritual realm around your life. Something is moving. Something that has been locked is beginning to loosen. Something that has been held back is beginning to press toward release. And I needed your heart awake for it. I needed your spirit alert and open enough to receive what is coming, because what is coming is too important to sleep through. You have been living through a season of waiting, a season of closed doors, unanswered prayers, and silence that felt like abandonment. You asked yourself if I had forgotten you. You asked yourself if you had done something to deserve this stillness, this delay, this feeling that everyone else's life was moving forward while yours was frozen in place. I know those questions. I heard them every time you asked them, and I want to answer them now clearly so that you can release what you have been carrying. Every closed door in your life was a hand of protection, not a fist of rejection. Every time a door slammed shut in your face, I was standing behind you holding closed something that would have hurt you in ways you could not yet see. Every person who left because staying would have eventually diminished something precious in you. Every opportunity that dissolved because it was not the one I had prepared, and the one I had prepared is worth every moment of the wait. Every delay was not punishment. Every delay was preparation, and the preparation was necessary because what I am releasing into your life requires a stronger version of you than the one who first prayed for it. You could not have handled what I have for you 3 years ago. You were not yet who you needed to be. The bruising, the breaking, the stretching, the seasons of silence, all of it was formation. All of it was me shaping your hands so they could hold what I am about to place in them without dropping it. You did not fall behind. You were being prepared, and the preparation is nearly complete. Right now, in this very moment, as you read these words, things are being rearranged in the unseen places on your behalf. Doors that were sealed shut are beginning to move. Conversations are being redirected. Resources are being repositioned. People are being placed in paths that will intersect with yours at exactly the right moment. You cannot see it yet, but it is happening. The evidence of it is already in motion. Already advancing toward you, already further along than your fear has allowed you to believe. I have been working behind the scenes of your life in ways that would leave you breathless if you could see even a fraction of it. In the moments when you thought I was absent, I was most actively present. In the seasons that felt like abandonment, I was building what your prayers required. In the darkness, I was planting what would bloom in your light. Nothing about your story is an accident. Nothing has been wasted, not one chapter, not one wound, Not one night you cried yourself to sleep wondering if anything would ever change. All of it is woven into something far greater than you have yet been allowed to see. And now the season is turning. The preparation is finishing. The appointed time is drawing near. I needed you to know this. I needed your heart to receive this before you walked another day under the weight of believing you had been forgotten. My child, hear me clearly now, because I am about to speak something directly into the spirit inside you, something your soul has needed to hear for a long time, something that is going to begin to shift the atmosphere around your life, the moment your heart truly receives it. The waiting season is ending. What you have been praying for, crying for, believing for through all the months and years of silence, it is not moving away from you. It is moving toward you. The breakthrough you have almost given up expecting is already on its way. The peace you have been begging for is beginning to press through the walls you built around yourself. The provision that seemed impossible is being gathered and directed. The healing your body or your heart or your mind has needed is beginning to flow. The restoration of what was stolen, what was broken, what was scattered, it is being gathered. It is being restored. It is coming back. Within the days ahead, you are going to begin seeing signs that confirm what I am saying to you now. Small things at first, a door opening that you had stopped knocking on. A conversation that brings an unexpected answer. A peace that settles over you without explanation. A moment where you breathe deeply and realize the weight has lightened. Do not overlook those moments. Do not explain them away. Those are the first edges of the wave that is building. Those are the early signs of the turning that has already begun in the spiritual realm and is now beginning to press into the physical. I am sending angels on assignment ahead of you right now. They are going before you into rooms you have not yet entered, into meetings you have not yet attended, into opportunities you do not yet know exist. They are preparing the ground for your next season. They are clearing paths you cannot yet see. They are working while you sleep, working while you worry. Working even while you doubt, because my faithfulness is not dependent on your ability to feel it. I am opening doors for you that no one has the authority to close. Not your past, not your failures, not the voices that told you that you were not enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough, not connected enough, not the disappointments that tried to convince you to stop hoping. The door I am opening was always meant for you. It has your name written on it in a language older than your pain. And it is opening now. Healing is coming, healing of the wounds you have carried in silence, the ones you never let anyone close enough to see, the ones that changed the way you move through the world and the way you let yourself be loved. The tender, aching places inside you that you have learned to work around instead of through. I am coming into those places, not to expose you, not to shame you, to heal you, to restore the softness that fear stole, to give back the capacity for joy that grief dimmed, to reopen the parts of your heart that closed for protection and have stayed closed for far too long. Peace is coming, the kind that makes no logical sense, the kind that sits in the middle of uncertainty and does not move, the kind that stands steady even when the circumstances around you have not yet caught up to what I have promised. You are going to feel it begin to settle. You are going to feel your nervous system exhale in ways it has not been able to exhale in a long time. The grinding, relentless tension that has lived in your shoulders and your chest and your jaw, it is beginning to release. Provision is coming, not in the way fear imagined it, not through the narrow channels your anxiety tried to map out, but through avenues that surprise you, through sources you did not calculate, through generosity you did not earn and could not have predicted. I am the God of more than enough. I am not limited by what is visible to you, and what I am sending into your life in this season is coming from places beyond what you can currently imagine. My child, I need you to believe this right now, not with perfect faith, not with the polished certainty of someone who has never doubted. I need you to believe it even with shaking hands, even with tear-streaked cheeks, even with the scars of every previous hope still visible on your heart. Trembling belief is still belief. Desperate faith is still faith. And your trembling whisper has always been enough for heaven to move. Now I must speak to you about your part in this, because a breakthrough is not something that only falls from the sky while you remain entirely passive. A breakthrough requires your participation. It requires your cooperation with what I am doing, and the most important place that cooperation begins is in what you are saying to yourself, to others, and in the quiet of your own mind. You have been speaking defeat for too long. You have been rehearsing the worst-case version of your story so many times that your mouth has gotten used to the language of endings. You say things like, "This will never change, nothing ever works out for me. I always end up here. It is just my luck." You say these things sometimes without even noticing you are saying them. They have become the background music of your inner life. And my child, words have weight. Words carry direction. The language of your everyday thoughts and speech is either pulling you toward what I have prepared or pushing you away from it. So I am asking you to make a shift, starting right now, starting in this moment. I am asking you to begin speaking what I say about your life instead of what fear says. I am asking you to open your mouth and speak the truth even before you feel it, even before the evidence appears, even before your circumstances agree. Speak this right now, out loud if you are able, and in the chambers of your heart if you are not. Say it with me: I am not finished. My breakthrough is coming. What was stolen from me is being restored. I am stepping into my appointed season. The closed doors were protection. The delays were preparation. What God has for me cannot be stopped. I receive my healing. I receive my peace. I receive my provision. I walk forward in faith even when I cannot see the path. I am loved beyond what I deserve. I am seen. I am known. I am not forgotten. Speak those words again. Let them move through you. Let them begin to displace the language of defeat that has been living in that space. This is not empty affirmation. This is agreement with what I have already declared over your life. This is you aligning your voice with my voice, your confession with my promise. And when you do that, when your words line up with my word, something begins to shift in the atmosphere around you that you cannot produce by effort alone. I know what the enemy will try to do with this moment. He will send the first available distraction the moment these words finish: a notification, a stressful thought, a whisper that says, "Nothing is going to change. You have hoped before, and it did not work." He will try to steal the seed before it takes root. Do not let him. This moment is too important. Guard what was placed in you here. Take it with you. Let it settle somewhere deep enough that the first hard day cannot shake it loose. And if doubt rises, if your own past disappointments whisper that hope leads only to more hurt, remember this. Noah built an ark before a single drop of rain fell. Moses lifted his staff over water that was still solid ground. Joshua marched around walls that showed no sign of falling. Peter stepped onto a storm. Every one of them chose faith before the evidence appeared. Every one of them watched heaven honor that choice in ways that changed everything. Your faith does not need perfect conditions. It needs only a decision to trust what I have spoken more than what fear has calculated. Make that decision now. Let this be the day the shift begins. My child, before I release you from this moment, I want to take you somewhere. I want you to close your eyes for just a second and let yourself see it, not the life that fear has been showing you. Not the version of the future that anxiety has been narrating. The real one. The one I have been preparing while you have been surviving. See yourself 1 year from now walking lighter than you walk today. The weight that lives in your chest has lifted. The anxiety that greets you every morning has quieted. The fear that made decisions for you has lost its grip. You are moving through your days with a steadiness that people around you cannot explain, a peace that does not depend on circumstances. A joy that returns even after hard days because it is rooted in something unshakable. See the provision that came through doors you did not expect. See the relationships that carry real warmth, real safety, the connections you stopped believing were possible for you. See the healing that happened, slowly and then suddenly, in ways that still make you catch your breath when you remember where you were before. See yourself sitting at the end of a quiet day, exhaling fully, not because everything is perfect, but because you know you are held. That is not a fantasy. That is the direction you are already moving in, even if you cannot feel the motion yet. The life on the other side of this valley is real, and you are closer to it than your pain has allowed you to believe. Your story is not finished. It is not even at its best chapter yet. The chapters ahead of you contain things that your former self could not have received, because your former self had not yet been shaped by everything you have walked through. The breaking made room, the silence made depth. The wounds in the hands of a healer become the very thing that equips you to reach someone else who is where you used to be. One day, people who are exactly where you are right now will hear your story and find their footing again. They will hear how you stood in the middle of uncertainty and chose to believe. They will hear how you walked through the valley without being swallowed by it, and your testimony will become the light that someone else follows out of their own darkness. What you are carrying right now, every bit of it, is being redeemed for a purpose larger than your own healing. So do not give up, do not close your heart. Do not let this moment pass through you without leaving a mark. Let it reach the deep places. Let it settle into the parts of you that have been waiting for someone to finally tell you the truth that you are seen. You are loved, you are not too far gone, and your story is not over. If this message has touched something real in you today, if these words found a place in your chest where something shifted, even slightly, I want to invite you to do something. Look for the pinned comment below this video. There you will find a link where you can sow a seed of blessing in this season, not as a transaction, but as an act of faith, a declaration that you believe the harvest is coming. Sowing in faith is one of the most powerful things you can do in a season of breakthrough. If your heart prompts you, follow that prompting. Every seed sown in faith is received by a faithful God. Beyond that, if these words were for you, share them. Someone in your circle is carrying what you were carrying before this message found you. Someone you know is in the dark place, the 3 a.m. place, the place where nothing feels like it is ever going to change. Be the reason they find this word today. Share it. Pass it forward. Let the ripple of this moment reach further than just your own heart, and leave a comment below. Tell this community that you received this. Write the words, "I received my breakthrough," or simply write, "God saw me." Let your words be a declaration. Let your comment be a stone of remembrance marking the moment something began to shift. My child, this is your moment, not tomorrow. Not when things get easier. Not when you feel more ready or more deserving or more certain. Now, this breath, this turning point, this is where the shift begins, not out there in the circumstances, but in here, in the decision your heart is making right now about whether to believe. I have been waiting to meet you in this exact moment of your life. And now that I have found you, I am not letting you go. Your breakthrough starts now. Your restoration starts now. Your new season starts now. Go forward, my beloved child, and watch what I do.